Hey there and welcome. My name is Pete and this is the usual channel update video for April 2022. And because it goes up fairly late, I want to use it mainly to look back, both at March and April, which, if I have to be completely honest, were not the greatest months for me. It all started in March when I got COVID, which unfortunately, or luckily, depending on how you want to look at it, put me out of action for a little over a week or so. Certainly not the worst thing in the world, but considering how many people I know that suffered barely any symptoms at all, it was still pretty frustrating. Nonetheless, that on its own was not really the big problem, but unfortunately I also developed a pretty long-lasting cough that definitely took a toll on my voice and lasted for much longer than that 1 week. So while I felt pretty healthy for most of the second half of March, I simply couldn't talk for longer periods of time, and even recording just a single page of script was sometimes too much. On top of that, I then also spent 1 week on a, I think, well-deserved vacation, and all of a sudden we were already in April, and the long-promised launch of the new XCOM series still had not happened. In April then the headaches began, according to my doctor likely a result of me not moving around much during my COVID weeks, and I think anyone who's ever had headaches for more than just a few hours can relate to this. After a while it just becomes one of the most annoying things in the world, and it renders you pretty much incapable of doing anything that requires some brain power, not to mention the creativity to write and record YouTube videos. Now, things have gotten better over the last 1 or 2 weeks. I am not yet back at 100% though, but at least the times of me spending all day in bed dazed on painkillers are probably over. So this is more or less where we are today, and I'm not saying this to gather your pity or anything like that, but of course not everyone watches every video or reads every community post I put up, so I thought I'd give you a very brief version of the timeline of those last 1.5 to 2 months, just so you can perhaps understand the whole situation a little better. Now, with that being said, we did also have some positives, most notably the recent launch of XCOM 2. I will admit that first episode turned out a little bit longer than I had anticipated, but I am very happy to see the series start off to such a great reception. The ability then to play the game with characters who are not only named after but actually created by patron supporters is a lovely bonus on top of that, and I think the first episode has already shown how much additional personality that can give us, so I want to take a moment here to say thank you to all of those who have submitted characters. I can't promise that all of them will eventually make it into the series, but since I already had to go through all of them manually, I know that there are some pretty cool creations among them, and I am very excited to show those off for all of you to see. And with that being said, I should probably get back to actually finishing that next episode, but of course I have also not forgotten about our Mass Effect series, which did take a bit of a backseat recently, but I can promise you it will continue shortly as well. And so I think let us keep things short today. Before we make the cut though, as always it is time to give a big shout out to all the new Patreon supporters who have joined us over the last month, and because of those XCOM 2 character submissions the list is quite long today, so strap in. In no particular order, I want to say thank you for their support to Aeon, Smirk, Trillionaire, Mike Wazowski, Big Bird 85NL, Matt Haddy, Step Back, Tanya, Sain Dane, Rami Spooey, RJ Muffin, Joris HMR, Cheesecake Legs, Psycho Hobo, Alexander Recke, Nocturnus, Eulos, Something Peculiar, Peter Hertel, Nick Finlay, Flozy, Music Echo, Salt Mage, Jess McChain, Philip Kiemler, Krayleth, Joe Chappell, Slaughterbush, Matthias Farias, Dane Alexander, Van Dyke, Hannah Anthony, Jude92, Midnight, Runald, Bluebat42, Gap, Bronson, Xylander, Nuxel, Marcus Andreasen, Sean Sponsler, Bryce Martins, Gigglomaniac, Bevan Bennett, Maps, SWATcat, Michael Saloni, Tiniest Gigabrain, Nassim M, Victor Lyman, Sputzi, Rashira Sarala, Dave Hamilton, Protector, Falcon Enforcer, Koshea Waters, Professor Fox, Nazus, Caspiel Rex, Ansel Norst the Zellion, Marco Masaroto, Red Fighter 67, Pangur Bon, Dub Parrot, Shivera, Trinity, Olokin, Jono, Fall Risk, Michael Conkling, Chick Nandler, Nosevi, Matrix 7, Etunin, Matthew White, Picklebean, Claybear Gaming, Timothy James Hardcastle, Cougar, Operator Skillet, Princess Sparky Comics, Pandroth, Arthuro Amigo, Tam, Tourmaline, Uprooted Grunt, Lars Mose, Jarvis, Yuppie, Hendrik Danker, and finally Ridley. Thank you so much to all 93 of you. All of your support means an awful lot to me, and I hope I can make you stick around for a while. And with that, I think we have reached the end of today's channel update video, so I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, then I would be very happy if you could leave a thumbs up. If you like what I'm doing and want to support me and my channel further, then you can go ahead and subscribe to stay up to date, grab some merch over on shop.petecomplete.com, or check out and maybe even pledge to the Pete Complete Patreon. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.